Thank you. Hi, my name is Chris Sommers, and I just moved to Lewisboro about 6 weeks ago. By way of background, I served on the board of a school in Brooklyn for 5 years before deciding to move here, and my full-time job is as an investment manager and research analyst. Our first child is 6 weeks old, and we hope she can attend school here in a few years' time. I have tried to approach this situation with a neutral bias, and I've had lengthy conversations with people on both sides of this debate, as well as school board members. I hope that everyone I've spoken with on these issues have viewed me as being fair and reasonable. In an effort to fully understand this issue, it was important for me to understand the history of the community and the school system, the current state of the community, and what the future may hold. My research has taken me from speaking with leading realtors in the area to using New York's Freedom of Information law to try to locate obscure district documents. I've read the last 6 years worth of audited financials. I've read 3 years worth of budgets. I've read the 5-year expenditure forecasts. I read the 2011 comparative financial analysis expenditures per pupil, and I've read each demographic report in detail, and even deconstructed the demographer's model so I could rebuild it myself with alternate assumptions. After my discussions and research, it is not clear to me that we have a capacity problem. Our current enrollment level is within the normal historical range using the 20-year historical figures as the benchmark. The projected enrollment is not even expected to reach the 1990 levels for another 5 years. I see no urgent need or benefit from closing a school from a capacity or academic perspective. At the same time, I do note that our taxes are amongst the highest in the entire county and country. Clearly, many residents are growing increasingly unhappy with the high taxes, and people are scrambling looking for solutions to lower these taxes. Putting my financial analyst hat on, I note that the estimated savings are roughly $2 million per year related to closing Lewisboro Elementary School. In the context of the entire $110 million plus budget, that is a very small area of expense to target if you want to try to have any meaningful impact on taxes. At the end of the day, our district does have an expense problem, but it has nothing to do with running 5 schools versus 6 schools. We had 6 schools up and running 20 years ago with a budget that was less than 1/4 the current size. As the new guy, I'm hearing lots of people talk about lots of things on this topic. Real estate taxes are too high. Property values are going to plummet if we close a school. Saving every dollar counts. Classes will be too crowded if we close a school. We're on a perilous fiscal path. Traffic lines will be too long to get the coffee in the morning, and the list goes on. But the sad thing to me is not what I am hearing. It is what I am not hearing. Throughout this debate, no one has mentioned to me anything about our skyrocketing instructional costs. I know, taboo subject. I know, Triborough Amendment, the 1982 Amendment to the 1967 Taylor Law. But the figures speak for themselves, and they're publicly available for all to see. In 2007, this district had nearly 4,000 students. The instructional costs were $68 million. Today, enrollment is 15% lower. Instructional costs, though, are up 40%, and that's $96 million. $27 million more is being spent today to instruct 15% fewer students than just 6 years ago. But here we are talking about $1.75 million to close a school and relocate 25% of our elementary students, and no one wants to talk about it. In the middle of all this are the students. They are the ones that will ultimately suffer, but no one wants to talk about the elephant in the room. The facts to me are clear. Closing a school next year doesn't make sense. Our taxes are so high, they don't make sense. And the ones impacted the most are the only ones without a voice in this entire process, the students. Thank you, Chris.